There's a new Ranger Raptor ad. I'm sorry, not a new one. New to conservatives that are mad about it because of a paint job. Not even a paint job, it's probably like a wrap. But there's a couple of Raptors shooting through the dust, and one of them gets cleaned off to unveil its rainbow finish. Oh my God, it's so offensive. It's offensive to people like Ben Shapiro. They're adding to their hatred towards companies that talk about inclusion of anyone else that also has money and wants to spend it, and they hate it. Here's his tweet in response to this whole thing. He says, a giant government corporate cyborg vomiting rainbows on a human face forever. I'm gonna pause there.
What?
Exactly the question I had for you. I was wondering if you had some kind of read on this that made more sense than what I can make of this. A giant government corporate cyborg vomiting rainbows on a human face forever. What the hell is he talking about? Whose face?
Here's what I hate about the woke, anti-woke BS. Don't make me defend Ford. Don't make me defend Disney. Don't make me defend a gas guzzling 4x4 that you absolutely do not need, that will not be trouncing and blazing in majestic hills. It'll be in traffic and you'll be clogging an intersection sometime very, very soon, to compensate for the fact that you're insecure in other parts of your life. That's why you need a massive car. The point is this. It's okay that these advertisers are doing inclusive advertising. They're trying to bite off the apple. Pride is coming up. Pride Month is coming up. So it's like, that's what they're doing. They're trying to advertise to people. And yes, young folks who are beginning to buy cars are far less bigoted than the Ben Shapiros of this country, are gay themselves, are queer, and would be into this car. And they think it's cool, and that will work on them. That's all this is. That's all it is.
It's an ad. Similar to the Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light can, which doesn't exist anywhere else except for in our hands for that quick IG video.
Right.
I get the feeling that this gold and rainbowed truck isn't gonna be flying off the lots in large numbers. Maybe someone wants to put that paint job on it. That's up to them. Weird how that works. A little bit more though, because they're all very upset about this. Evan Drago says new woke Ford Raptor ad points it out. If you'll notice, again, he tweeted this on May 17th. That's of this year. What they don't know is this ad has been out for a year. So right before Pride of 2022, they missed it because it wasn't in the middle of them trying to announce a couple of presidential nominees and folks on the Republican side. It wasn't them then after losing the midterm elections trying to figure out what to do next. Now, oh my God, that whole plan didn't work. It had no reason for them to be mad about it then because it wasn't politically expedient for them in that particular point. John Jarrett did the same thing. They all just jumped on at the same time. He says, unbelievable, gay Ford Raptor is the worst idea ever. BlackRock and George Soros destroying every product they can for their profits. Man, I can't, it was 2 sentences and there's all kinds of typos in that. It was annoying. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be that guy. Again, a rainbow colored Focus or whatever the hell little piece of garbage car that is. And a rainbow colored Raptor. Oh my God, what's gonna happen to my life? My children are gonna see colors on a car and they're gonna turn gay. I'm only saying what they're saying because I want you guys to hear it coming out of someone else's face and realizing how ridiculous it sounds. But there's many people who buy into this. There's other aspects of it because as they're digging deep into their archives of other advertisements, they're angry. Again, look, Newsweek pointed out that conservatives are digging up these old LGBTQ plus campaigns again after the Bud Light boycott, which they saw as a success because now people are attaching it to it. That is until those American flags pop back up on those cans. Some of the other things that they listed, in case you guys forgot. Miller Lite, Target, Starbucks. We're gonna get to that in a second. Adidas, Nike, Jack Daniels. They're throwing all their stuff out. They're burning all of their clothes for this whole same stupid argument that again is a year old. So what does this have to do with voting for folks?
Put it on a gun. We've talked about this. We've seen the memes. Put it on an AR-15, please. I do not want to see any depictions of automatic weapons or Armalite light rifle, whatever the hell. I don't want to see a depiction without a gay flag on it. We need the pride flag on every single gun and let them go at it. Oh, we want to control guns now. Do it.
Oh, if they wrap a gun, an AR-15 in a rainbow flag.
Yes.
I mean, I would love to see what happens actually.
Yes, exactly. The space-time continuum of their anti-woke crusade, it just, I don't know. I think it hits a black hole. It just.
There's a black hole who appeared on Fox News to talk about his anger. By the way, again, if you're looking for a politician that's looking to try and fail to capitalize off of this hate and anger that they're pushing, you'll find yourself a Ted Cruz. Look what he's been up to when it comes to this fight against every corporation that says anything that's normal. Watch.
Investigate what Bud Light was doing with Dylan Mulvaney. It destroyed a brand that may not recover. What's your focus?
Well, listen, I can't think of a company in modern times that has more alienated its customer base and seem to have so little understanding of who it is that actually drinks Bud Light. But this week I sent a letter to the CEO of Anheuser-Busch along with Senator Marsha Blackburn, because the CEO of Anheuser-Busch is also the CEO or the chairman of the Beer Institute, which is the regulatory body, the industry regulatory body that regulates itself. And one of the rules that beer companies are supposed to follow is they're not supposed to market to kids. Remember the whole Joe the Camel thing? This is the same thing here. Well, you know what? Dylan Mulvaney, a massive percentage of Dylan Mulvaney's audience are kids. And Budweiser was trying, I believe, with this ill-fated marketing attempt to target teenagers.
Hey, constituents in Texas that Ted Cruz represents. There was folks murdered in a mall. There's a child that's now an orphan. His parents and sibling was torn apart. Countless other folks get shot on a daily basis. This guy ran off to Cancun a few years ago when things got bad there. And this whole time, ever since even then, ask yourself, what has he done about those problems, specifically the gun problem? Has he talked to Governor Abbott about it and said, man, my constituents are really tired of this? Because by the way, they are. Or ask them if they're like, I'm glad that people are getting assaulted and murdered and torn apart in the streets by AR-15s. But you know what? I'm glad Ted Cruz has talked to the Beer Institute and asked them about the Budweiser's partnership with Dylan Mulvaney for a 30-second to a minute long Instagram, TikTok ad. That's what we care about.
We are about to default on our national debt. Republicans are holding everyone, the global economy, hostage because they want to make poor people poorer. And this is what Ted Cruz is talking about. Straight. I sent a letter to the head of Anheuser-Busch. That's what you're worried about? Because Dylan Mulvaney held up a Bud Light can. Oh my God, the entire nation is going to careen into the economic abyss, and that's what you're doing. I mean, it's just like, you can't write this. You can't make it up. It is interesting that look, it makes sense that writers are on strike right now. They're like, I don't know, man, reality is too nuts for me.
Exactly. We have no more work. Who's gonna?
We got to strike until this thing can correct itself, until, these clowns can bring it in, because they're giving us a run for our money and our creativity.